Hey guys, so today I am in Tai O, the fishing village in Hong Kong, and as you can see we have much nicer weather today, not like that rubbish I had yesterday. That was a stressful day. So I'm really looking forward to shooting today. I'm very convinced that we are going to get at least something here. This area is pretty big, so I'm going to start walking around and trying to scout out a couple of locations. I did some research online. I kind of know some spots, but I need to find them here. But let's start walking around and see if we can get some shooting in today. So here I am at what potentially I think is going to be the first shot of the day. You know that bridge that I was walking on? I was heading in this direction towards this little place. Now behind me when I was walking on the bridge, that's the main area of Tai O. There's lots of people there. It's very touristy. It's also quite nice, but this looked quite quiet compared to the other place. So I decided to walk along here and see what there is. And I found a composition that I'm very happy with. I'll throw up a little snapshot that I just took. I was kind of working the scene. I was up actually just on this walkway over here. I started shooting up there and I came back down onto the beach because we've got these three boats here. Really nice foreground elements if I just zoom in a little bit. So I'm going to put you guys down. Hope I don't get soaked in water, and set up my gear and do the first shot of the day. It's not sunset just yet. The sun is actually just above me. It's going to set in about 2 hours. But the way I've composed it, the sun's not actually in the shot. The sky isn't a whole lot much anyway, so I'm okay for now. I'll probably throw the polarizer on there, I think. I don't know. I'll play around with it. But again, let me put you guys down, get myself set up. So that is me all set up, ready to go. One thing I am noticing, I have done baseline exposures just so I can capture everything. Basically what that means is I've done my usual -2, -1, 0 bracket things. It's just so I have all the information and so I can grab static shots of the boats. And as I've been moving around and changing things and things like that, I've noticed how much the boats are moving. So doing a shot where the boats are in roughly the same position is going to be a little bit tricky, and I won't really know until I get the files back into the computer. So this is going to be a bit of hearsay and trial and error. So we'll see how I do with it. I shot, as I said, baseline brackets without any filters, and then I threw the polarizer on it as well and did a couple of sets with that. Didn't look that much different, if I'm honest, but I've got it anyway just so I might be able to pull more information out of that sky, because there is some clouds, they're just kind of hidden within the haze. What are my settings? ISO 100 as usual, f16, and I focused roughly around the point where the text is for that boat. I've noticed that the boat kind of sways out this way and then comes back inwards. So what I'm doing is I'm just kind of waiting for the boat to sway back into that position that I originally kind of got my focus point at, so I can use it from there. And what I'm doing now is I'm actually just going to check the exposure time for my little stopper, because I'm just going to use a little stopper. I don't need to do anything much. And it's 0.4 of a second. So the exposure time was about 1.5 seconds, which is a little low for me, and I did check what it would be like with the 10 stop, with the big stopper, and it was like 4 minutes or something ridiculous. So what I did is I threw on my circular polarizer, and that dragged it to about 5 seconds. I'm shooting at about 4 seconds right now, and that's working great. The main thing I am trying to cut down on though right now is the reflections in the water, because the sun is shining right on the waves. And that about does it. So I'm literally just firing away and just hoping that I manage to catch a long enough exposure where the boat's in roughly the same position as my original bracket shots that I captured all the sharpness for the boats and things in. It's going to be, as I said, a little bit of a play here until I get the files back into the computer. I'm probably going to shoot this for a little bit longer. I might try and recompose a little bit, I don't know, because I don't want to spend all my time here. I've got the shot that I'm hoping to get, and if I try and spend any more time here, I'm just going to get frustrated because the boats move. So what I might do is I might start walking along the rest of this area, and then maybe back over to the main fishing village. But one shot in the bag today. Hopefully this is going to work. As I said, I won't know until I get the files into the computer. So I have composition number 2 already set up. I'm actually just at this rocky bit here, I was over there on that beach, and all I did was just walk around to here, and we've got this weird little docking formation thing. Let me just shoot a picture so I can throw it up on screen here for you guys. There we go. So super overexposed. The sun is not in frame, thankfully. But again, nice leading lines into the water. We've got mountain in the background. Happy with this. Today is going very well already, and it's not even sunset yet. One thing I am going to have to remember is it's already 5:15 right now. And I want to kind of make my way around here and then head back into Tai O to see if I can get anything else. But if I can nail at least 1 or 2 shots today, I'm happy, because yesterday wasn't very successful. So let me get all my gear set up here. I think I'm going to throw the little stopper and the polarizer on. I may even throw the big stopper on because it's kind of bright. I'll have a look at my exposures and figure that out. Again, I'll talk more about that in the next clip. Man, I'm having so much fun. I keep forgetting to turn you guys on. That sounded weird. Never mind. I'll ignore that. I am now shooting the long exposures. I checked it with the big stopper. It was too long. It was a minute exposure. I might try it in a minute, but I wanted to get the little stopper and the polarizer out of the way first. They were about 4 or 5 second exposures. So I'm just shooting away here. What I'm trying to kind of do, and you find this a lot with long exposure shots, with water and waves in particular, especially with tides and things, is you have to kind of time it, because otherwise the waves can look too far in. They can look smooth, but like, you know what, like when the waves come back to then go back in. I'll throw a couple of the shots here that I've done where the waves just look too far back. And you just got to time it right, so when the wave is just starting to come forward, then you do the exposure. Because remember, my exposure is only 4 seconds long, so I can't buffer the fact that there's going to be more waves coming in and out to kind of blur that out. That's kind of why I'm thinking of using the big stopper now, so I can then get a full big wave, smooth water effect on it. Again, I'm just going to keep shooting away here. Everything's still set as it was before. It's f/16 ISO 100, and I'm just bulbing it with my filters for about 4 seconds, as I said. What I might do in a second, when I switch out to the big stopper, let me just make sure I get these waves. When I switch out to the big stopper, what I'll do is I'll shoot a bracket set, so I have enough information in the sky and things like that to bring back, because I'm exposing for the foreground for these rocks down here. So the sky is pretty blown out. It's not totally blown out, actually. It's not blinking, because I have my blinky set on my camera. If you want to know more about menu tricks and stuff like that in your DSLR, I'll put a little suggestion for a video I have done. Blinkies is one of them, and it's a highlight warning. I'm just keeping shooting away here. I'll maybe extend it to 5 seconds, 5.5 there. Yeah, so that's blown out the sky there. But yeah, so about 4.5 seconds seems to be about right. What I will do now is throw the big stopper on, and that's about a minute. So I can talk to you guys a little bit more then after I've switched everything out. Okay, so 40th of a second with my big stopper. A 10-stop filter with a circle polarizer is 1 minute 21 seconds. So let's go ahead and set that. So 1 minute 21, what is that? That is 81 seconds. Right, because I know my big stopper runs a little bit darker than 10 stops. I think it's about 10.5 stops, whereas my little stopper, I don't think it's 6, I think it's about 5.5, 5 2/3. It's a little bit bright for a 6 stop. Whenever I've done my calculations, it's always looked a bit funny. So what I'll do is I'll leave this running for maybe 85 seconds, and I'll see how that is. So that first shot, the water is super smooth, and the amazing thing is, let me just see if I can get my butt down here. The amazing thing is there's no highlight warnings. The shadows might be a little bit dark, but for the most part, that's a really cool looking shot, actually. I kind of prefer the 6-stop one, simply because you get more movement look in the water. I think a minute's simply just too long. If you could get it for about 30 seconds, that would be perfect, but a minute's just a little bit too long. especially because we're doing close to 1.5 minutes now, because it's 1 minute 25 seconds-ish. So what I'll do is I'll do it for 1 minute and 30 seconds and see how that does. But again, for the first shot with that big stopper, I'm very happy. Again, a couple more shots of this and then we'll move around. I might move back over there. I kind of saw a frame up on the pathway that I was walking on before, but the light simply wasn't there yet. So now that the light is bouncing onto this island bit, there might be another shot. So we'll see how that goes. I might pack up and just head over there in a minute. Man, you know what, guys? I'm in such a good mood right now. I am so happy. It's so nice just to be able to shoot in nice sunset weather for a change. So happy, so happy. All right, now I'm gonna go over to that bridge. Now that I've finished shooting up that little dock area, I wanna go over to that bridge area. There's a couple, oh no, good, they're moving. There was a lot of people standing there shooting pictures before. But I wanna go over there because further down along the waterfront area that I was on, there was someone doing a fire. So there's all the smoke and the sun is blasting against the smoke. You can see it and it's throwing a cool glow on the mountain. It's just rad, so I'm stoked right now. We're just gonna get back to shooting in like 10 seconds from now, or for you it'll be instant because, you know, video. Okay, so that is me set up now. I've got my framing, throw it up on screen, but I haven't shot the picture yet. Let's shoot the brackets now. There you go, that's my 5 brackets. Okay, so I'm gonna have to be very quick. It's changing rapidly. I shot my brackets. I've got my little stopper and circular polarizer on just to kind of cut through everything. Now, the main trick here is to kill all the reflecting light on the water. That's it. I checked the exposures. It's about, what was it, 40th of a second. So with the little stopper and the polarizer, that's 4 seconds, roughly. So let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Unfortunately, since setting up, this light looks like it's changed on my screen. I'm not entirely sure what the deal is. Yeah, there was lots of light shining on these buildings before, and now there just isn't. I don't know what's going on, actually. That's making me a little nervous. Thankfully, I got brackets beforehand of everything, because the sun was just shining bright on those buildings, and now they're just not, and I don't know what's up. Making me nervous, but what I might do is then just do a long exposure for the water, blend that in afterwards, we're good to go. Man, I'm sorry guys, I really rambled in that last clip and I'm pretty sure I made 0 sense, so please allow me to explain what I meant. When I first set up that shot, I was rapidly chasing light. The sun right now is hiding kind of behind a haze, and it's not really that much sunset, but it was just above that, so it was throwing all this amazing light on those buildings, and I'll throw the shot up here on screen. And by the time I got my filters and stuff on it, the light had actually gone, or it wasn't as good. It was still there, but it just wasn't as good. Thankfully, I did manage to get my baseline exposures bracketed, so I got that. And what I meant was I'll then blend in the long exposure water just to kind of smooth it out. Unfortunately, it doesn't look right because the color is a little bit different. I might be able to fudge it in Photoshop, but that's kind of what I meant. Was I was rapidly losing light, and the long exposures simply just weren't the same lighting, I guess. Pretty much that's the same way to call it. Yeah, the long exposures weren't the same lighting as the baseline brackets, so it was a little bit complicated, and plus I had lots of people around me walking and talking and looking at me because I'm a foreigner, strange guy talking to a camera. Believe it or not, I do still get kind of nervous and a bit freaked out by doing this, even though I have been doing it for over a year now. So that's pretty much it. The sun is going down pretty rapidly at this point. I'm going to go into the village and see if there is any more shots, but we'll see. I'm pretty happy though. I managed to get at least 2 shots today. That shot we just did and the one on the water with the little rocky dock thing. Pretty stoked with those 2 actually. So we managed to get 2 shots today. We might get 1 more. I'm not sure. It depends. I might stick around until after sunset for the blue hour stuff because 1, there'll be less people. And 2, blue hour is quite nice. I haven't really shot it that much, so we'll see. We'll hang around and we'll see what happens. So I've got 1 more shot. I was walking around trying to find actually, let me just get this shot in. Again, I'm using the same trick same trick as last night, where I push the shutter down, timer, then it does the 5 brackets. This is part of Tai O. Lots of stilted fishing huts. Amazing looking place, and I was just walking around and I managed to find this spot here. I'm just shooting a bunch of brackets of it before the light just starts to disappear. It's disappearing and I kind of almost missed the shot trying to set it up and get talking to you guys, but I may have just got it. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I didn't need to do a whole lot, but I'm quite happy with it. I managed to get another shot in here. The only problem is the tide's a little low. You can see some of the rocks there, but let me just shoot off one more. Actually, you know what, I'm going to increase. So I forgot to mention, I was actually messing around with my settings before, because I was walking around and just doing handhold shots, trying to try a few things out, and I completely blanked on, like, my f-stop was like f5, my ISO was on auto ISO, and a whole bunch of stupid stuff. So the shots were probably fine anyway, but I wanted to make sure I have everything all set up. Unfortunately, I've probably missed the light. But again, I'm still out shooting, so we managed to get it. I'm pretty sure I just got it. Not this one, the one before, yeah. Because again, same problem, the boats are moving because of the water, because it's tidal water. Oh, is that raindrops? We might be getting some rain in a second right now, although there's no clouds, but I see drops in the water. Anyway, because the boat's moving, the boat's position is changing, so it's changing in the frame. So I think I'm pretty much done. My battery on this camera is about to die. I have replacements with me, but I'll shoot one more bracket even though I don't really need to. And that's me good to go. Okay, give me a sec. Okay, so that is me gonna call it for the day now. I've done a bunch of different shooting today. Very happy with my results. It's 1,000 times better than what it was like yesterday, that's for sure. So I'm very happy. We got a whole bunch of shots. Hopefully you have enjoyed this one. I've enjoyed it tremendously to be out shooting, especially in a new place like this. I will be coming back here, I think, because this is just a labyrinth of shot potentials here. So hopefully you have enjoyed this one, and I'll catch you in the next one.